Go. All righty. You are looking like that sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they sucked. They lost to the Cardinals this past weekend. They choked at home this past weekend. They were 10-1. Now they're 11-5. The Philadelphia Eagles suck. Rolls right off the tongue there, folks. Philadelphia sucks, and I freaking love it. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there all that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay, just once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away. Throw it in the chat box. Usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So please feel free, fire away. But I mean, also, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free and fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second one's called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them, so if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me, and I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. Greatly appreciate it. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified, and it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. And then finally, also just a little ways down in the description box, there's an additional 2 links. The top one's a Facebook link, which I'll go over in just a second here. The one just below it, I'm an old-time fart. So the one just link just below it, it's Twitter. It's a Twitter link. It's always been Twitter. It's Twitter today. It'll be Twitter tomorrow. 3,000 years from now, it'll be Twitter. I'm an old-time fart. It's Twitter. Right, whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it, that's on him. I'm not calling it that. It's Twitter. Usually every day, I put some Giants-related stuff in there in my Twitter account. If you follow me, I will follow you back. That's an absolute promise. Oh. Timeout on the field. Timeout. I got to move the chair for my buddy Randy here. Randy woke up from his nap. He wants to come in. Oh, all right, buddy. Okay, here we go. Right, Randy's here. Okay, we can continue. Randy's here. And finally, also, the Facebook link just on top of it. It's called the New York Giants of Gridiron. It's my group, Facebook group. We have 7,500 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I'm 365. I'm putting stuff in this group. And not only do I put stuff in here, but the members post stuff in here as well. So between me and the members, if you join it, become a member, you can post stuff in here as well. So between me and the members, there's a ton. There's a boatload. There's a lot of information, Giants information going in this group every day. Darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants of Gridiron. It's a Facebook group. Please join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. All right, with all that stuff said and done and out of the way with, well, now here we go, guys. Here it is. Here we go. The final injury reports of the season. Wow. I tell you what, man, this season just flown by, huh? You know, it's the woulda, coulda, shit. This is definitely true to like the one of the woulda, coulda, shoulda season. You know, I mean, I never, ever in a million years, even if things went right and we didn't get injured and stuff like that, I don't think we're like, 49er territory. I don't think we're butting heads with the Ravens or, going ahead. But it's definitely truly one of those woulda, coulda, shoulda. I mean, there's so many games. So many games, not so many. I mean, some of them we got blown out in, but there's quite a few you'd like to have back. Even this last one, the one we had 2 weeks ago against the Eagles. I mean, Tyrod drives back the pass. Wan'Dale Robinson's running down the left sideline down there. I mean, there's contact. The other guy doesn't look. That's not interference. I guess the NFL, the script, the script that they have, for this season, right? For this season for the NFL, because I can say this stuff, I'm not getting, ain't nobody finding me. So I don't, ain't anybody listening to me, but I'm not getting fined. So I guess the script that they have written for this season, we got to have the Eagles in there. I didn't see no pass interference. The guy contact, doesn't look around. Wan'Dale's on the ground and all of this stuff. I don't see nothing there. The amount of play and whether, I don't know, whether Saquon jumps out of bounds, whether he gives some contact there. I mean, no penalty called there. And I mean, just, so once again, the NFL made sure the Eagles won because you got to make sure, you got to keep that Eagles, you got to keep the Eagles Cowboys kind of thing kind of going and all of that. So, and of course we had the Cowboys Lions game. Yeah, I'm eligible. What? I don't hear nothing. I don't hear nothing. Absolute total bull. Absolute trash. NFL referees, absolute trash. But anyway, I mean, certainly the woulda, coulda, shoulda. I mean, it was just it started off. To be honest, we certainly, we were 9-7-1, and let's say here, running back, we brought back Breida and Barkley, right? We added Eric Ray, had Brightwell. So you can say we either stayed the same or maybe upgraded a little bit, but we really didn't need a lot of upgrade. We got Saquon, right? We added Eric Ray, right? We had Tyrod Taylor and Daniel Jones, so we didn't really upgrade there, but we paid Daniel Jones, so we really didn't need to upgrade the quarterback position. We upgraded the wide receiver position. We brought in 312 slot receivers, and we drafted Jalen Hyatt, so we upgraded that. We upgraded the tight end position, right? Brought in Darren Waller. We still got Bellinger, right? We had Cager from last year, so we upgraded that. Really didn't. We upgraded the offensive line with Michael Schmitz. For the first time in 300 years, we got ourselves an actual center since Sean O'Hara. I mean, not just since Sean, but we've been asking for a true center for how long now? Finally, we got one. All right, so we upgraded. You kind of hoping, what you have with Andrew Thomas. You were kind of hoping Evan Neal would take the second year, take a little step forward. We got ourselves a center, right? Maybe a little hope for the guards, but the offensive line we added a little bit too, right? The defensive line we brought in Nacho, Ashawn Robinson, still got Leo the Lion there, Sexy Dexy. We got to put in Okereke, right? We added Banks, the safeties. Can't really say we upgraded that, but that really wasn't much of a weakness. We still got Graham Cano. We had we got the Scottish Hammer. So I mean, we upgraded, and certainly we were 9-7-1. We'll have a harder schedule this year, but you can look. The one thing we really didn't upgrade was edge rusher. Pretty much status quo there. We brought in Hottie, right? Brought back Hottie, Azeez Ojulari, Kayvon. We got Boogie Basham, we had Tolman Fox. So we really didn't upgrade there. That's something we need. We need two edge rushers. We need two. We got Kayvon, right? And we need two more edge rushers because I don't know if Azeez is going to be around after next season. Don't know. But we need, at least this we really could use one. But we're gonna have a nice long laundry list of stuff, and so we'll have to wait and see. But going into the season, a lot of people were saying, that the Giants could actually, their record could be a little worse this year and still be a successful season because, the schedule is much harder, And obviously that's the case, but we still had some high hopes. Some of us were drinking the Kool-Aid. I was one of them. I picked the Giants to beat the Cowboys the first week, drinking the Kool-Aid, right? Of course. Little did I know within 32 seconds into the first game of the season, we're going to have a blocked field goal, run back for a touchdown. Graham Gano either got stepped on or kicked or something, like cleated or something. Andrew Thomas pulls his hamstring. Back 6-0 game, pretty much the game over. It was just all downhill after that. Absolute freaking trash. Absolutely, so pretty much that wrapped up the Giants season within the first 5 minutes, 6-7 minutes of the season. Basically, that's the way the Giants season was going to go. But along the way, there was certainly some woulda, coulda, shoulda games. Some head scratch. The Raider game. It's like, wow. It didn't look too good there. The Saint game, it's like, the Saints aren't the greatest team of all time, but they sure look pretty good against the Giants. So there was some head scratcher games, but then of course you got the Buffalo game, the Jets game, right? This Ram game here, right? The Eagle game, some real tough losses in there and everything. But it's like, if we'd stayed somewhat reasonably healthy, if we had Daniel Jones staying healthy, if we didn't get, I think we're at 83 sacks we've given up so far. are you kidding me? 83 sacks. What did we give up last year? Was it 49? I think it was. So hold on, 50, 50. So what was it? 34 more sacks we've given up so far. And we got the Eagles coming to town, so the Eagles can certainly pile on a few more sacks. So we're going to be 35, 36, 37, whatever, more sacks this season we did last. Yeah. But I'm saying a lot of it had to do, obviously, with the injuries and all and everything. But it's amazing how the time just flies by. The season's over for the Giants. Season's over with. Christmas is over with. New Year's is over with. We're into 2024. And it's a shame, because, the biggest question mark right now is kind of like, where the Giants going to select? Where we're going to pick? Well, I seen somebody. I think it's a little far, a little bit much, but it's proposing a trade for the Giants to jump up to number one, and I guess draft Caleb Williams. So we'll have to wait and see, but. Got the final injury report here now with the Eagles. Now this is big because the Eagles, they're in the playoffs now. The chance of them winning the NFC East, I certainly want to say slim and none. I certainly don't want to say that because they could certainly beat the Giants, right? And I'll have to wait and see what Washington, the Commanders wind up doing. Usually, sometimes they give the Cowboys a good run for the money. Cowboys are not a good team on the road. Their fans travel well. There'll be a lot of Cowboy fans there, especially if there's a chance for them to win the division and all that and everything. But let's see if the Commanders go out swinging. But the Eagles are in the playoffs no matter what. So DeVonta Smith, he was walking around in a boot. That's not too good after the game, right? Apparently, what I heard, he wasn't walking around in a boot maybe like this week or anything like that. But they're going to need him in the playoffs because they need their offense because they're not. They're going to have to win 3 games on the road, and I don't see that. And then they're going to have to go to the Super Bowl. So that's not happening. You can check off the Eagles. That's not happening. I'm going to love it when they lose. Absolutely freaking love it. But they're going to need DeVonta Smith. So for him to come into kind of like a meaningless game, same thing with Slay. They're going to need Slay. Now, it's not going to be like it was last year with the Eagles. They had a bye week. Then they played the Giants, and then they played the 49ers with a 38th string quarterback in there who was injured, who couldn't throw a football, and like and like that, right? This year they're going to have to put the big boy pants on. They're going to have to go on the road, win some football games on the road, right? So, which ain't happening because they suck. Their defense sucks. So they're going to need Slay to be at his optimum performance, so if he winds up playing this week, it might hurt him a little bit. Obviously, they said we got here So those two guys are out. Let's see here. There was one other guy who somebody had DeAndre Swift has an illness. So, yeah. Unless he has like cancer or something like that, I could certainly see him playing in this game. But DeVonta Smith with his ankle and Darius Slayton with his knee, they're out. Those guys are out. So, but no matter what, they're going to be, I'm sure, they're going to try their best to be in there, whoever they're playing, as far as a playoff game. Right now, it looks like they're going to want to be playing as long as they win as long as the Eagles wind up the wild card team, as long as they don't want to win in the division. Looks like they'll be playing whoever wins the NFC South. Right, so that's that'll be a battle. So they'll be on the road, right? And obviously anything can happen, right? That's why you've obviously played the games. But they're going to need Smith and Slay, big time the following week in the wild card, because there's no one and done. There's no like what happened with the Cardinals last week. You lose at home. All right, okay, well we lost. All right, so we're still in the playoffs. You lose one. You're going to playoffs. You lose one. Right, bye. So they're certainly going to need them. But the Giants, of course, with Pinnock, unfortunately, his season's over. I thought it was initially it was like a foot, but now apparently it's a toe with Pinnock. So he's out, so he won't play in the final game of the season. Deontay Banks, he's doubtful with his shoulder, and John Michael Schmitz, he got leg whipped, so he's questionable. With his shin. If he can't go, well, then we're going to have Parrott at the right tackle. We'll probably maybe bring Glowinski in, right, at right guard. We'll have Bredesen at center, and we'll have Pugh at left guard, and we'll have Andrew Thomas at left tackle. So we'll have to want to wait and see, keeping an eye on that. If Michael Schmitz can go, then maybe we'll have Bredesen at the guard, and we'll have Parrott at the right tackle, Pugh at left guard, and Andrew Thomas at left tackle. Big game for Matt Parrott, because this is his final season with the Giants. The Giants going to try to bring him back. This help maybe kind of showcase a little bit of maybe what he can do. If not, the Giants aren't interested in him. I don't know if they are or not. Yeah, because remember, he came with Kmart. He came with the store. Shane and Dable came, and he was here. They didn't draft him. They have no ties to him. They got more ties with the Zudu and McKeithen than they do with Parrott. So Parrott might be bye. Lemieux might be bye-bye. Parrott might be bye-bye. Because remember, what was it? Andrew Thomas, the first round was 1-3-5, I think it was, right? 4 years ago, whatever it was. We had Thomas in the first round, Parrott in the third round, Lemieux in the fifth round. That's when the Giants really tried to, fix their offensive line. They drafted Lemieux as a guard, right? Andrew Thomas, tackle, Parrott, the other tackle, right? And, of course, the thing was Lemieux, I think it was 35-36, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. Because it was two successive numbers, 35-36. I think it was 35-36. It was either I think it was 35-36. Lemieux played 3,536 snaps in college. He can't even make it for a full drive in the NFL. I have no idea why. The past two seasons, he got injured like in preseason. He one of the was it 2 years ago, whatever. He is partially tore his patellar tendon. It was like one of the first practice. It was like a non-contact injury. I guess it was just what he was doing. Something, bam, just goes down. It's pretty much the season's over with. So he came and stay healthy. So he can pretty much say bye-bye to him. Be interesting to see, as I said, what they want to do with Parrott. Hopefully they bring Tyree Phillips back. Hopefully. The one thing that'll be interesting will be because I get down on my knees every night before I go to bed, and I go, sweet dear baby Jesus, please, 45 seconds after the season's over with, please let the New York Giants fire Bobby Johnson, the offensive line coach, please, sweet dear baby Jesus. Amen. And I get up and I go to bed. I get my little blankie, get my teddy bear. I curl up in a ball, right? I go off to bed. But every night I get down there. I beg the sweet dear baby Jesus that they fire offensive line coach Bobby Johnson, because we suck, right? So whoever they bring in, okay, I mean, I guess they'll come, however, they'll look at the tape or something, whatever, and see, who they want to keep, who they want to let go, and all this stuff and everything. But I said, it could be quite a bit of turnover. I'm not sure. I think Bredesen, I think we could let Lewinsky go. Peart, Tyree Phillips, Bredesen, who else? Lemieux. I mean, it was just a bunch of guys, who can, let go. So won't leave a lot of guys left, but it's going to be, once again, very, very, very interesting time. This offseason is going to be, huge. As I said, I think my video last night, we're still building, going to try to compete to build, but we have some draft picks. Obviously, we got a first. We have right now, I think we have 5 in the top 105 or so, somewhere around there. 5 in the top 100. So we could do some some nice little damage, right? We could probably bring back. We can maybe bring back maybe Saquon or somebody like that. We could probably go out and maybe get one nice free agent. We can bring it. We'll be bringing in other ones, but they're going to be lower down on the totem pole. We're not going to bring in a guy for. We're not going out and getting T. Higgins for $25 million. Going to get the best guard out there for $19 million. Going to go out there and get another safety for $22 million. That's not happening, But we can do some drafting, right? But the problem, what we have right now is, we have some, a couple of holes as the team is right now. We have some holes, right? Then we have some depth issues, right? And then we're going to be losing guys, right? And some of the guys we're losing are going to be starters. Ta-da! As I went over this, like Isaiah Simmons. We just traded a 7th round pick for the guy. The guy has, some special skills, special talents. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer, all pro, not like that, but we traded away a 7th round pick for the guy. I certainly think, with the athleticism he has, it would be kind of crazy not to bring the guy back. But he's not on the roster next year, so you have to pay for him. So like Saquon, like Xavier McKinney, Adoree Jackson. There's guys that So there's got some free agents that are going to be going bye-bye. So obviously, as these free agents go bye-bye, we're going to be creating even more holes that we have. So it's going to take a couple more drafts for the Giants. It'll be this one coming up. The one in 2025, now the one in 2025, it'd be our normal draft picks, but in 2025, we have some salary cap money. We have, as of right now, well over $100 million in salary cap. Now, that'll change, especially, when we bring in this draft class, right? And we sign some contract. The 1st round pick is going to cost some money. So we have well over $100 million, well over $100 million in 2025. But said when we sign this draft class, that $100-something million that we have in 2025 is going to come down. If we go out and sign a free agent this year, or if we sign Saquon to a long-term 3-year contract, something like that, that's going to come off of that. So it's going to come down, but the Giants can also get rid of some money here and there, and maybe say that they were to get rid of Daniel Jones, right? They'll save some money. They'll have some dead cap money, but they'll also save some money. So, but you're looking at probably at least another 2 years, right? I said between this draft, the draft in 2025, and if we can get a free agent maybe this year, right, to help maybe fill one of those holes. I said, and maybe get a free agent or two, a nice free agent or two in 2025, then I think we'll hopefully start gelling, right? We got to figure out what we're doing with the quarterback situation, right? And the thing is with Daniel Jones I'm going to go over the last article I have here, or the last thing I'm going to go over is what Boomer Esiason is talking about with Daniel Jones is, Daniel Jones. I mean, if it's a perfect world and we go through the season and nobody gets injured and we got great wide receivers and Saquon's healthy and all of this, and Daniel Jones can stand back there and survey the field, kind of whatever. Daniel Jones can make the throws. Daniel Jones is a heck of an athlete. Daniel Jones can run. We've seen how many yards he got last year, all this stuff and everything. Daniel Jones, can do good. The problem is that everything's got to be darn near perfect for him, as we saw this season. I mean, the sieve that our offensive line was this year, I don't know who could compete behind that offensive line and win football games. The guy got injured 2 times. I mean, his neck and then his ACL. I mean, I don't know who could perform behind that offensive line, but I mean, if everything's just perfect, Daniel Jones could probably take us pretty far. I don't know about winning the Super Bowl, whatever like that. But, if everything's just right, we have the offensive line, but we haven't had a good offensive line, in a long time. So they got some certainly some decisions to make. Then I saw there was a couple weeks ago, there was 4 guys. Then last week, I think it went down to 3, and I forgot the guy's name from Washington, one of the defenders from Washington. He missed a play, I think it was, which kind of stinks for him. Feel horrible for him. But apparently, the only 2 defenders left standing, right, in the NFL who've played so far every snap this season. Now, we still got one more game to play. So hopefully neither one of these guys gets injured. But 2 guys. Right. So we're talking about, the injuries this year. We got, we got injuries will kill us. But we can also look at 2 guys on the defense, right, who played in every snap of every game this season. There's only 2 guys in the whole NFL have done that. Bobby Okereke, Xavier McKinney, right? So got to give kudos to them. Those guys, as it shows in my thumbnail, are money, right? Every play. So kudos to them. Now, whether we bring Xavier McKinney back, don't know. I mean, could we draft somebody once again like a Landon Collins in the 2nd round? Could we draft somebody like Xavier McKinney 2nd round? We have 2 second-round picks. Can you draft somebody in the 3rd or 4th round to add to? If we let McKinney go, if we have Pinnock, right, we have Belton, right, maybe draft somebody else. Right, we have Javarius Owens, who has not really seen the field. So, but I mean, can we add some depth to the safety, or maybe get some? We have other holes to fill. But could we draft the safety in the 2nd round? Sure, starting safety or somebody like that. Absolutely, sure. But Okereke, I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a pickup. Heck of a pick. He's been like almost the exact opposite of Waller. Both absolute class act human beings, great teammates. Darren Waller, just, fantastic guy in the locker room, fantastic teammate and all that stuff and everything, but just the injuries. He's dropped a couple balls. He hasn't really been big time as the Giants were kind of hoping for. And he missed a bunch of games, right? So he's been kind of the exact opposite of what Okereke was. Okereke has been in there every play, every snap, every game. And Xavier McKinney was too. So kudos to those guys. Those guys are money. Now, for Xavier McKinney, if we don't wind up bringing him back, he's putting himself out a nice little resume, right, for what he did this season. He's had a lot of tackles. He's had some pretty good games this season. So it might wind up being like the same thing like with Landon Collins, right? The Giants didn't want to bring Landon Collins back. I don't know if Gettleman didn't like or whatever it was, but and Collins was a little pissed off at the Giants after we didn't sign him after his rookie deal was over. But he had a nice little payday with I believe it was the Redskins at the time, right? So he got himself a nice little payday with the Redskins. So, but be interested to see. So once again, one of those things. Do we bring Xavier McKinney back? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, Dane Belton had a nice game against the Rams. Obviously, his 2 interceptions were great, but both passes were overthrown. I mean, it wasn't like, as I said, I think I said in my video last night, it wasn't like, he was back in coverage. He was eyeing up Stafford, and then he seen Cooper Kupp come across the middle, and he charged into action. He saw Stafford, eyeing up Cooper. Cooper's coming this way, and Belton just made that decision, that split-second decision. That's where it's going. And he just charged. The ball's in the air. He's seeing it coming in. He boom jumps in front of Cooper Kupp, and he takes off right with the interception. Man, what an interception! It wasn't like it. The ball was overthrown. He was in the right place at the right time. It doesn't matter. The ball's thrown to an interception if you don't catch it. He caught both of them. Kudos to you. And the one basically is like scooped it up off the carpet. And so kudos to him, right? So had obviously a very good game. But, we'll have to wait and see what they think about Belton going forward. And I said, same thing with McKinney. Are we going to bring him back? But I said, I just wanted to give a little shout out. Hopefully both those guys play every snap. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Be the only 2 defenders in the NFL this season, the 17-game schedule, that played every snap of every game. So, Okereke and McKinney, way to go, brothers. Way to go. Great season. Great season. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Then I mean, it's like, damn. I'm looking at this draft trade proposal. I was like, man, it's like, we're getting like 5 draft picks and Darius Slayton to move up possibly 4 spots to go from 5 to 1. It's like, I think at the number 1 pick, it's a premium. I'm like, damn, what the hell did the Giants give up? The Giants gave up 4 picks to go to number 1 to trade with Eli Manning, I think it was. They gave up a first, a third, another first, and a 5th or something like that, or whatever it was. I mean, that was to go from 3 to 1. Here it's 5 to 1. But again, it's like, whew, man. But got this trade proposal here. I seen that. Also includes and Darius Slayton too. 5 picks you got to give up, and Darius Slayton. So basically, it's 6 picks and a person, 6 people all together to go from 5 to 1. It's like, and the thing is that just from what I'm hearing. I'm never going to say I've been breaking down Caleb Williams. I spent 3.5 hours on every play, going back and forth, looking at his eyes, breaking it down, and this and that. Hey, that's not me. It ain't going to be me. Ain't never going to be me. I take other people who spend their lives, trade their lives to break down the film of Caleb Williams, and I take their information. And some very, very good information out there. But, just what I'm hearing is that, there's no, Andrew Luck out there. There's no Peyton Manning out there. There's no stone cold, almost lock Trevor Lawrence out there. There's almost no, if you trade up and you get this guy, you're good to go. There's none of that. They're all, Williams and, and the other guys, good quarterbacks, but there's almost no guarantee that from what I'm just hearing that these guys are going to be stone cold locks. As far as so, if you're trading up to go from 5 to 1, and you're giving up 5 picks and Darius Slayton for a little bit of a gamble, and you gamble wrong, you're setting yourself back years. So because in this trade we're giving up 2 firsts, a second. Hold on, let me see, a 3rd and a 5th, and Darius Slayton. Let me see. There's what we got here. Let's see. Is this all right? What do we got here? This new mock draft has Giants landing number 1 pick and a buster trade with the Bears. Could Joe Schoen end up getting Caleb Williams after all? So I don't know who proposed this, but the trade with the Bears. The Bears feel pretty good with Justin Fields. Now, as I said, with Justin Fields, I mean, this would be huge for the Bears. I mean, to get all these extra picks, they don't need their quarterback, and to get Darius Slayton. I mean, that would be huge for Justin Fields. Huge, right? But what they're proposing here. Let's see. So the Giants get the first overall pick. One guy, right? The Bears get the 5th overall pick, the 39th pick. So first, the second, the 105th overall pick. So we have 5 picks in the top 105. Okay, so that's the 4th round pick, right? So and then next season, the Bears would get our 1st round pick and a 3rd round pick. And they would get Darius Slayton. So basically, the Bears, for us right now to go from 5 to 1, the Bears would get 2 firsts, this year's 2nd, next year's 3rd, and a 4th, and Darius Slayton. So they would get 5 draft picks and Darius Slayton. So we can move up 4 spots, go from 5 to 1, and draft. Wow. I mean, I said, the one thing is that, for the Bears, I mean, once again, if they're good with Justin Fields. Now, the thing is with Justin Fields is that, they can draft a quarterback, and then they can, and then they can battle it out or whatever like that. And, whoever wins, I'm saying, but then they can just trade the other guy, right? If they draft Caleb Williams and they battle it out, and Caleb Williams winds up winning or something like that, they can trade Justin Fields. They'll get something in return for Justin Fields. Absolutely. But if they're happy with Justin Fields, this is perfect. I mean, they got 2 first-round picks, the Bears. And then if they could trade this 1st overall pick and go back and just start collecting other draft picks, oh, my God, they can be huge. What a haul they could make. Holy cow. This could be fantastic for the Bears, especially, if they were to do something like this with the Giants. I mean, that would be ideal for them because there's, quite possibly the Giants may be looking to draft a quarterback, but the Patriots need a quarterback. The Commanders need a quarterback. Those guys are drafting. So, they're not sure, So it's like, if the Commanders are picking in front of the Patriots, well, the Patriots can just jump in front of them, right? Or they can just, the Patriots might be like, well, there's a couple quarterbacks we like. So whoever Commanders take, we'll take the other guy. But then once again, there's a gamble there. Do the Giants jump up? Right? They go to number 1, just saying. They take somebody. Then now the Patriots have to take the 3rd best quarterback or whatever. So it can be a gamble either way. If you sit, if there's somebody you really like, go get him. You don't want to play around. Like I'm saying, like if the Giants, if whatever, they think Caleb Williams is the next coming of Jesus Christ, go get the guy. I mean, if you think that he can take you, ride you off into the sunset, right, and somewhere along the line you're going to be Super Bowl contenders. If you really think, Dable knows a thing or two about quarterbacks, right? Now let's not forget once again, when Shane and Dable came here, Jones was here. Ta-da! Here's your quarterback, right? But Dable kind of knows a little thing or two about some quarterbacks, right? So if just watching the film, same thing, Shane knows a thing or two about quarterbacks as well too. But if they're watching film, if Shane went to the games and maybe watched a couple of these guys and all that, if they think one of these guys is worth it, if it's going to set you back a couple years, but if you have your quarterback, the number 1 position in all of football, number 1 hardest position in all the sports. I don't care what. I don't give a rat's rear end. What other sport you're talking about? What other position? The hardest sport, the hardest position in all professional sports, NFL quarterback, hardest position, without question. So if you think that, it's going to set you back a couple years, but if you think you have your quarterback for the next 10, 15 years or whatever, you got to go get him, right? Just do the best you can with the draft picks you got. We have two, we have 2 second-round picks, right? So, and what they were proposing was our 4th round pick. So so this year we could, if we were to draft, just say a quarterback, if we jumped up, right? And drafted Caleb Williams. I mean, it's not like we're losing Darius Slayton, but it's not like we're losing Jerry Rice or something, right? We still have Hyatt. Hyatt can be our speed guy, right? But we'll have a 2nd round pick. We got a 3rd round pick. We got a 1st round pick this season. So next year we give up our 3rd and our 1st, but we still have a 2nd round pick. So we might take a little bit of a step back, but then I said, if after this 2024 is over with, right, we can get rid of Daniel Jones. We'll have some dead cap money, but we'll be saving some money as well, too. Let's see. Hold on here. That's a New York Giants. Let's type this in here. New York Giants salary cap. And I always do spot track because I can just read this better. That's all. So we'll go to 2025 New York Football Giants. We'll go update. So Daniel Jones, his cap hit is $41 million. His dead cap is 22. So if we were to let him go, okay. So what did the Giants have right here? Giants right now, estimated cap space, $131 million. Right, 131 million. And if we will let Daniel Jones go, but we only have 26 guys on signed. Okay, so you figure if we add in this year's draft class, we add in the 2025 draft class, that'll give another like 14 guys or so, whatever like that. So we only have like half the team signed. We only have 26 guys. So the fact that we have $131 million as of right now is a little misleading because we only have half the, what I mean? But I said with this year's draft class, next year's draft class, you're going to certainly add to that bunch of 26 that we have. But we have $131 million for 2025. Okay. If we were to let Daniel Jones go, we'll save another $19 million. So we'll have $150 million. I mean, as I said, once we sign this year's draft class, that's some of that money is going to come because their salaries are going to chew into that. But we're still going to have, $100 million. Right now, obviously, the thing to do is not to go out with $100 million and bring in 19 new free agents. That's not the way to do it. You want to get a couple, sprinkle in a little some free. You don't want to bring a whole 11 guys in on free agent. You don't want to do that. That you do not want to do without question. But we can certainly bring in a couple boomers. Like if we needed if there's a good edge rusher available, and we got $30 million, we can get us. We got Cave on, and now we got this other guy. Whatever. If there's a good wide receiver out there, we have Wan'Dale Robinson, right? We have Jalen Hyatt. Now we go out, we get ourselves a dog. You got Hyatt, you got a dog, you got Wan'Dale Robinson. You still need depth and all of that, but now you got 3 nice guys, right? 3 young guys and all that, right? So if there's an offensive lineman out there or something like that, or if there's somebody you can put next to Sexy Dexy, who's really, really, we can go do that in 2025. So, I think of the Giants, if they feel, because that'll also give them what? It's going to piss Mr. Marrow off because Mr. Marrow loves Daniel Jones. Really loves Daniel Jones. For the Giants to give up on him, it's going to hurt. But I mean, what it'll do with Shane and David, it'll give them some time as well too, because they're bringing in a new quarterback, and it's like we drafted the quarterback. We're going to need another a year or two to see where this goes. I mean, so that would. I mean, if things start going tanking, that will give them some time. Like the first year we had Caleb Williams, and next season, right, would be the 3rd year for Shane and Dable, right? Or for Dable, so we bring Caleb Williams in, and he's the starting quarterback for half the season. Whatever we're not doing that well, whatever. Well, it's like a mulligan, or right? It counts, but it really doesn't count. It buys you a little bit of time, buys them some time. Well, we're going to need a year or so to get the quarterback situation. Then we gave up these draft picks, so we're going to need a year or so to get these draft picks. I mean, so that'll buy them a little bit of time. I said, but this, I mean, it's like, whew. I mean, it just goes to show you what quite possibly what it would cost to jump up to go like 4 spots. Now, the thing is that, once again, it's like if the Giants were to lose, okay, and if if maybe one of those other teams in front of the Giants were to win, like the Cardinals, the Commanders, or the Patriots, right, the Giants might jump up. So the Giants can go anywhere from second and they can fall all the way back to number 8. So if the Giants were to, maybe jump up to for whatever reason, they could get up to number 4 or number 3. They wouldn't have to give up all of this, right? If they fell to number 4, well, instead of giving them 5 picks and Darius Slayton, they would probably maybe have to give them maybe 3 and Darius Slayton or 4 picks and Darius Slayton. It would certainly save themselves one. They wouldn't have to give them 2 firsts, a second, a third, and a fourth to move up 3 spots. If they were to go from 4 to 1, I mean, that would be a bit much. So, but this is a very interesting proposal. But once again, what will they do? We'll have to wait and see. But I said it's one of those things that, if they really feel, as I said, that there's no Andrew Luck, there's no Peyton Manning, there's no Trevor Lawrence, there's no guy coming out. It's like, get that guy. There's your quarterback for the next, as long as he doesn't get injured. If he stays relevant, of course, look what happened to Andrew Luck. But, I mean, Andrew Luck was franchise quarterback. Andrew Luck could still be playing, but too many injuries. Right. But the guy can stay healthy, like Trevor Lawrence says and all that and everything. You got yourself your franchise quarterback for 15 years. And that's your foundation right there. If you got your quarterback, right, and you can start building, right? You can start putting all the other pieces in there and everything. But if you don't have that franchise quarterback, it's very difficult to, it's difficult. It's not that you don't have to. I mean, Brock Purdy is not Tom Brady. They have a fantastic coach, right? They have phenomenal offensive weapons, and they have a very good defense. So he's just in there. But the thing is let's not forget, right? I mean, they kind of got it right where they want it right now, because when Purdy, because he's not a 5-year guy, he's only 4. So once, after his 4 years is up or whatever, he's going to want to get paid. So once he starts wanting to get paid, I mean, they ain't paying him $20 million. I mean, especially if he takes him to a Super Bowl or something like that, he's going to want some big boy money, right? So once he starts wanting 40, 50, whatever million a year, well, then you can say bye-bye to a lot of their players because they can't afford to pay him. Why? Because the quarterback's going to take $50 million. He's going to go from, he's making what, like $1 million a year? He's going to go from $1 million a year to like $50 million a year. Well, you can say bye-bye to a lot of players. That's the way it is. I mean, unless in that time, right, Shanahan and all, they see another quarterback, they bring them in, right? I mean, just like what Purdy's doing, right? And maybe they think they can, put another quarterback in. They can draft another quarterback in the 2nd round, 3rd round, or whatever, right? Develop them, and if Purdy, after his 4 years, if he wants $50 million, they can say bye-bye to him and bring in this other guy. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But so once that rookie quarterback comes off of his rookie contract, it starts getting tight. It's like what the Eagles did, right? Carson Wentz, they paid him the money and all that, but in the meantime, they quietly drafted Jalen Hurts. Said bye-bye to Carson Wentz, brought in Jalen Hurts on a rookie deal, 2nd-round pick, right? So he's even cheaper. He wasn't a top 5 pick or nothing like that. So he wasn't making that much at all. Build a team around him, right? Took him to the Super Bowl, right? So, but then Then the former MVP, Boomer Esiason, he was talking about this little article here. It starts explaining about what the Giants reveals the real problem the Giants face this offseason, and it's Daniel Jones, according to him. CBS Sports NFL analyst and one-time MVP player Boomer Esiason suggested the New York Giants need to find an upgrade over quarterback Daniel Jones this coming offseason, if at all possible. The real problem is, what are the Giants doing at quarterback? Who is their quarterback? Who is their Patrick Mahomes? Well, I don't know. If they find their Patrick Mahomes, let me know. Who's their unquestioned leader? Esiason asked during an edition of the Fan Boomer and Geo program, as shared by Manuel Gomez, maybe, of NJ Advanced Media for NJ.com. There are a lot of guys across the league that are the unquestioned leaders. Like, who is their Lamar Jackson? They don't have one, which is true. They don't. The Giants hoped Jones would make a significant leap in the right direction after he signed a 4-year, $160 million contract in March of 2023. The 26-year-old instead regressed before he suffered a season-ending torn ACL on November 5th as he tossed only 2 touchdown passes with 6 interceptions across fewer than 6 completed games. 2 touchdown passes. Jesus God. New York reportedly can move on from Jones' deal after next season. Yep. Esiason ripped Jones on multiple occasions this offseason for lacking spirit and being a flatliner. More recently, the former New York Jets starter asked if the 2019 first-round draft pick is capable of generating extra plays for weapons such as running back Saquon Barkley. The Giants may let Barkley, a team captain, reach free agency this March. That's possible. We'll have to wait and see. That's another one of those huge questions the Giants have. The 5-11 Giants go into Sunday's regular season finale against the 11-5 Eagles, holding the 5th overall pick in next year's draft. In their latest mock drafts, Ryan Wilson and Chris Trapasso of CBS Sports both predicted the Giants will use a first-round choice to land an eventual replacement for Jones. Trapasso thinks Big Blue could trade up to the number 1 spot to select Caleb Williams out of USC. So, there's some real good options. People keep going back to Caleb Williams, but the guy from Washington, the guy from LSU. That guy from LSU. Man, what a phenomenal freaking athlete that guy is. But a lot of people keep going back to Caleb Williams. So, you look at, just because you look at their college stats and all of that, you got to always kind of keep everything in mind. Try to keep things in mind, like with Daniel Jones. Now, whether he ever turns out to be a good quarterback, you don't know. But they like with Josh Allen, his numbers in college were not very good. A 50-something% completion percentage, right? But you look at Daniel Jones, right? His completion percentage wasn't super spectacular. His touchdown, but what do you go to Duke for? Basketball. When do you go to, how many Jerry Rices have popped out of Duke? Nobody goes to Duke to become a wide receiver. Nobody, right? You don't have the cream of the crop. You don't have, like with Ohio State, sometimes they have like 13 wide receivers coming out in the first round. Why? Because the best guys go to Ohio, right? They have some good coaching and all that, but you get primo, athletes, wide receivers go to this college. That doesn't happen at Duke. You get guys who drop balls at Duke, right? You get guys who can't block at Duke, right? So you got to keep all that stuff in proper context, So sometimes because guys have these phenomenal numbers in college doesn't mean that they're going to translate. I can't remember what the guy's name was. There was a guy who was back in the 90s, played for Houston, College of Houston. He had like all kinds of, he had like 70 touchdown passes in one season or something like that. But he couldn't play in the pros. All these numbers, fantastic numbers. Oh my God, the greatest quarterback of all time. No, So you got to keep all this stuff in context. Just because the guys have great numbers in college doesn't guarantee that they're gonna, it's gonna be 100% successful. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, pal. Every time I move my legs, my dog's Randy's underneath me. It doesn't mean it's going to translate into the pros. It just is what it is. But if the Giants see, they're obviously going to look at the film and all that. They'll be at the pro days and all this. They're going to be there, taking notes, right? Guaranteed. But the Giants see a couple guys, if they take that guy, we can maybe work with this guy. If we got to get the second best quarterback, we can work. Or if they think there's one guy this freaking guy, go get him. If you think it's gonna change the organization around, I think that's gonna set the Giants up for the next 10, 15 years with this one quarterback. Go get him. But as I said, just for all what I'm hearing, that there's no, stone cold, absolute lock coming out in the NFL draft as far as a quarterback. So if they want to trade away 5 picks and Darius Slayton to go up to number 1, it's still going to be a gamble. But once again, as I said, game starts at 4:25. About 3 hours later, the game would be over. So about 7:25 or about 7:26 this Sunday, okay? For 4 months after that, between what coaches are coming and going, free agency and the draft for the next 4 months, it's going to be up and down roller coaster. It's going to be as the New York Giants turning, all kinds of things going on. They got a lot going on this offseason. So, all right, guys, that pretty much wraps it up in 56 minutes. Anybody spent any time listening to me live, thank you. If anybody spends any time watching the replay, this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.